Alright, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be hitting up back. Now, if any of you has watched yesterday's video where I trained chest, you'll know that I decided yesterday to switch things up and kind of reduce the weight down a little bit and focus on trying to get good quality reps. I'm beginning to think today that might have been the wrong thing to do. Because today my chest is significantly less sore than what it normally is. Now, in fairness, my chest or my muscles tend not to get sore for a couple of days. You know, it's usually the second day is when they're at their worst, although they're sore the next day. So we'll see how that's going to go tomorrow. My initial idea was going to be to kind of switch back up a little bit too and do the same thing with back and just go a little bit later, not too much later. I didn't go very super late yesterday, but I went late enough that I was able to get every rep a really good stretch on, and you know, nice controlled negative, and as a result of that I didn't get as much volume in as what I would normally do. And I was going to do the same thing today, but because I'm not as sore today as what I thought I was going to be, I'm just going to do a more sort of traditional back workout where I'm going to just focus on hitting as much weight and as much volume as I can, and if there's a little bit of body English in there, as it were, then so be it. I really don't want to sacrifice everything. We'll see how it goes over the next 4 weeks with chest. Like I says, my chest is sore today. It's just nowhere near as sore as what it would normally be. So that has me a little bit concerned just. Anyway, what we'll do what we normally do for all the normal exercises we normally do for back. We'll start off with chest supported dumbbell rows, then move on to T-bar rows, then on to our pull down movements, and we'll finish off with seated rows. I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to try and really push the weight on the T-bar row to get back up. I was only 5 kilos, I think it was, last week away from my top weight at the end of the last mesocycle, so I would love to try and get back up to that top weight that I was at the end of the last mesocycle this week, especially considering this mesocycle is going to be shorter than most, so I don't have as many training sessions in to try and, you know, get back to where I was at. So I'm able to kind of forget about the accumulation of fatigue just as much this time. So we're going to try and really push the weight on that. We'll see with the pull downs. Last week, what I did was I did what I did for chest, which is part of the calculus for chest. I had reduced the weight down on the pull downs. I might go back up on that. Having said that, however, last week on the pull downs, I did feel like my back was sore after those last weeks. So we'll see how that goes anyway. We might push the weight up. We might try a set with a heavier weight and then drop down, just depending on how we feel about how the set went. And kind of take it from there. I think with the seated rows, well, kind of up in the air. I'm not sure what to do with the seated rows. I might push. I mean, the heaviest weight that I was at a couple of mesocycles ago was up at 90 kilos. I dropped down significantly in weight in the last mesocycle, but having said that, I'm still getting a really good pump in the back, and the back is still sore afterwards. So it may be just worth sticking, you know, because I am feeling the benefit out of it, sticking with a slightly lighter weight there. We'll see how it goes anyway. If we don't increase weight, we'll increase reps, or you know, we'll find a way to increase the intensity some way. With the seated rows, I'm thinking maybe more reps with those rather than weight, but we'll see whenever it comes to it. We'll just see how tired we are when we get to that point, and in the workout, it's always hard to judge with seated rows because I put them at the end of the workout. It's, you know, it's how tired do you feel at the end of the workout, because they're quite a big movement. All the movements for back are big movements. You know, there's no, apart from the unilateral pull downs, there's no real easy give me's, as it were. So we'll just see how we feel when we get to that stage in the workout and play it by ear. Do we want to add reps? Do we want to add weight? Are we feeling really strong and we'll add weight on reps? Who knows? We'll see when we get there. Anyway, let's get to it. Right, that's going to do it for back. All in all, really good workout there today. The chest supported dumbbell rows felt really difficult, but I think that was a function of, I'm not sure if it comes across in the video or not, but I was losing my footing on the old concrete floor. That floor remains terrible. It's old concrete dust everywhere, acts like a lubricant. So I was my feet were slipping, and I'm not sure, like I says, I'm not sure if it comes across in the video. There's a few times I had to kind of try and pull my feet in and push myself forward on the bench a little bit, which ultimately made the movement less efficient than really it could have been. But my back felt strong with them, with those rows, and that's me back up to the weight that I was at pre-deload last week, and I'm feeling that the reps are fairly good, especially considering that my footing wasn't the best. T-bar rows, we hit our target of getting back up to the pre-deload weight at the end of the last mesocycle for full 10 reps. And I look back at the footage in that one, because at the time the reps didn't feel the best, but actually they turned out they weren't too bad. Now I think it was the last 2 or 3 reps were more like partial reps than full reps, but that's okay, because it's a sort of exercise lends itself very well to doing lengthened partials. The pull downs, I did try and go up a little bit in weight in the pull downs. I ended up, I dropped back down again and just focused on getting an extra few reps in where I could. And on the seated rows, again, in the seated rows, we didn't go super duper heavy. Did add a little bit of weight, and I focused then on getting, I think I got an extra, was it 2, 4, an extra, I think it was about an extra 9 reps in total, which equates to about an entire set, so that's pretty good. So it is. I think I'll have to just look back and check. I'm starting to doubt myself now. I think I did 2 extra reps in the 2 warm-up sets and 5 extra reps in the last set, but I would need to look back and see. But I did get extra reps anyway, so all in all it went pretty well. We'll see how sore I feel in back tomorrow. I've got a pretty good pump on in my back, so I have, which is always a good sign. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. If you've enjoyed the video, feed the anabolic algorithm with a comment, shares, likes and subscribes, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy.